Shalom, 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 yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamuel Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called, And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, who have ruled world through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. Mighty Shalom. Another mighty Shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty Shalom to you all as well. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called, And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. All right, and this is from the Charlotte Observer. It says, Mom fights back with knife as 13-year-old son beats her with branch, Tennessee cop says. Okay. It says a 13-year-old Tennessee boy beat his mother with a tree branch and tried to throw her off a balcony, forcing her to defend herself with a knife, police say. Officers responded to a 911 call at an apartment complex on the northeast side of Memphis at 5:20 p.m. Saturday, September 20th. It says the police department said in a news release, officers responded. It says the mother told investigators she was cooking when she got into an argument with her teenage son and he became violent, pushed her out onto the second floor balcony, and repeatedly punched her in the head, police said. The boy left for a few moments, came back with a large tree branch, and started beating her with it, according to police. It says a neighbor who called police witnessed the attack and described it as one-sided and violent. The release said, it says, as the boy rain blows down on his mother, he pushed her towards the balcony railing, trying to throw her off. According to the police, investigators noted that there had been little on the ground, there would have been little on the ground below to break her fall. It says in complete fear of her life, the mom fought back with a knife she had been holding, police said. She thought she cut her son during the struggle, she told officers, but he didn't stop until he heard the sound of approaching sirens, according to police. It says the teen left the scene with friends, police said, adding that the friends were covering for him. As officers worked to find him, the boy returned to the area and was taken into custody at about 8 p.m. and transported to the juvenile court. He didn't suffer any injuries. Police said, however, his mother had a cut near her shoulder, as well as deep bruising, but refused to be taken to the hospital because she had no one to watch her other children, according to police. All right. So it's just a crazy one. All right. And it just kind of reminded me of, what we were talking about at camp today. Okay. How, you have these parents, who who uplift their children, all right, above everything, all right, and you see what's going on in these days, all right. The scriptures tell us, Salakia, the scriptures tell us in these last days when we go to 2nd Esdras 14 and verse number 16. It says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Okay, so evils have increased, and they continue to increase. All right. And you continue to see stories like this. Right. I know I seen a brother do a video where you had this Jake, he was punching his mom upside the head, same way, as she was cooking. He got mad at her. I know it might even been uh her daughter's boyfriend got mad at her the mother, and started punching her upside her head, like throwing blows, man. Okay. And this is why a lot of you Jakes, man, hey, you're going to be destroyed, man. Okay. But it says, for yet greater evils than thou, which thou hast seen happen, shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Okay. When we go to Salakia, we go to the book of Matthew. It talks about Yahawashi talks about it too. All right. That's a when you think about that, that's a cold and terrible thing, that you can do. All right, to any parent. All right. So Matthew chapter 24 and verse number 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we see that, right? We see, the times that we're living in, where greater evils continue to happen upon the earth. All right. Why? Because the love of many shall wax cold. All right. Because what? As you see, without order, without direction, right? People lose their mind. All right. Just as in the days of Genesis, Yahawashi said, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be, the coming of the Son of Man. All right. And it's the same thing. All right. We see the same type of things that were happening in the days of Noah are happening now. Right. When the Lord said he saw great evils. What is that? Genesis 6 and Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5, and it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. It says, and it repented Yahawah Bahasham that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Okay. And the Lord was grieved about, the people that he made on the earth. Okay. To the point, what did he do? He only saved 8 souls. All right. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. All right. 8 people, 8 souls were left on the earth. All right. That's how wicked, this place was. What more now? It says greater evils, right, than what thou hast seen shall be happening. All right. Let's go to Romans, right? We had brought this out. We had mentioned it. I don't think we had brought it out, but I want to read it, because what's wrong with, people don't adhere to the words, these scriptures. All right. And they're putting everything above Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. And you see how disorderly this place is. All right. You have women ruling. All right. You have Esau the wicked ruling the earth. Okay. And it's just straight madness all around. Okay. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 25. It says, who have changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And that's what a lot of our, the mentality of the people are. All right. That they'll put, above, they'll put everything above Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Right. They'll put their children. All right. They'll put their wives. All right. even themselves above Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? And we know that you can't do that. All right? Remember, the Lord created everything, right? He created your children. He created your wife. He created your husband, all these different things. Okay? You can't put anything above Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right? And the order is the Heavenly Father Yahawah, His Son Yahawashi, man and woman. All right? And anything out of that order, right? You see what happens, and you see the wickedness of this world. All right. So we read that, right? Matter of fact, let's just do it again. Let me read it again. Salakia. Romans chapter 1, verse 25, it says, "Who had changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen." All right. When we go to the book of Matthew, right, and we have brought this out, 10 and verse number 34. All right, Yahawashi was speaking. All right, and he spoke about this. All right, it says his coming says not peace but a sword. Okay, it says think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I am come not to send peace but a sword. Okay, Matthew 10 and 34, it says, in verse 35, it says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and daughter against mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." Right? And then you see even now, mother against son. All right? To the point where, he went out, beating her upside the head wasn't enough. He had to go out and try to get a branch. And then he was trying to throw her off the balcony, man. Right? This is the wickedness that's going on in the earth. Okay? It says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household." Okay? And that's what you see right there. All right? The family turned against each other. All right? To the point they're throwing blows. They got knives and tree branches. All right? Like this is the madness that's upon this earth. Okay? So Yahawashi said, he said, "He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me." All right? And you got people who will, put their children over everything, right? And understand that it's Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi who gave it to him. He gave them the children anyway. Right? And we talked about, we didn't bring it out either, but the book of Job. All right? Job, had, his children taken away from him, all these different things. When you understand it comes from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you can't put the creature over the creator. Okay? And this is what people have to understand. All right? And you see, at this point, you have, wicked people on the earth. Okay? And I don't know if this was Jake or not. It didn't say. All right, but I've seen, like I say, I've seen brothers do videos even on this. Okay, let me see if I can get this real quick. Back in the day, so let's see if I can get this real quick. Salakia. Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Right back in the day, he wasn't having none of that. All right, but now, because you have the earth given into the hand of the wicked, right? They get away with all types of stuff. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 18. It says, "If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastised him, he will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. It says, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this is our son, is a stubborn and rebellious, and he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. All right. It says, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So thou shalt put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. All right. So part of the law, right? If you had a stubborn son or child, hey, guess what? And they was rebellious, they didn't want to listen. Hey, you take them outside and stone their ass, man. All right. So that evil will be put away. Okay. The scriptures tell you, what is that? Let me see if I can find this other one. Salakia. Let me see. There we go. That is it Ephesians? Let me try that. Let's go to the book of Ephesians, right? You know, they didn't play that in the old, you know, and now you see, you know, children, what do? They call child protective. They'll do all these different things. Back in the day, it was none of that. All right. Yeah, here we go. This is Galatians chapter, or Slaki, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. It says, children, obey your parents in Yahawah Bahasham, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. All right. So, you know, obeying your parents, may grant you longer life on this earth, man. All right. But sure enough, acting a fool and beating your mom, all right, you know, with a branch or a tree or whatever, and, you know, hitting her upside the head, hey, your days are not gonna be prolonged. All right. You know, because the Lord is eventually about to put evil out of this place, man. All right. Like I said, I don't know if that was a Jake or not, but we understand, man, that, you know, it says there are, what is that? Jeremiah 5, and here we go. It says, for among my people, this is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26, for among my people are found wicked men. They lie wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. All right. But among his people, right, the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right, and those of the diaspora, right, are found evil men, wicked men. All right. To the point where they have, when you read on, verse number 28, it says, they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. All right. To the point where our people will do even stuff even more wicked than the wicked of the earth. Okay. It says they judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. All right. But they've overpassed the deeds of the wicked at this point. All right. This is how wicked this place is, man. All right. And this is why this place must be destroyed, man. All right. It's all out of order. And we see with the no order and chaos. All right. This place is basically going into a fire with gasoline draws on, man. This place is set up for destruction. That's why this place has to go. Okay. So, I saw this article, and we had kind of talked about it at camp, and I just wanted to bring out a couple of, scriptures on it. But, this article, is what it's talking about. You see it. All right. So, Lord's will, this was edifying, right? With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, a mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect out there. All right, in the household of faith. Stay diligent, stay focused. Keep praying for one another. All right. Children, obey your parents that it may go well with you. All right. And with that, we say a ball, and shalom.